Oh, hello. It's me again. Heavy Hands at Carving Fusion. This is our new Dremel table setup. I will make a video soon about how I made my dust collector table. All the dust gets sucked down through these holes in my aluminum plate. You do not have to have an aluminum plate. And let's decide which piece of wood we're going to carve today. These are two pieces of wood. Well, this one is a piece of driftwood I found on the beach. It is, I think it's cottonwood or basswood. I want to make a bird feeder. I took this to my chainsaw shop. I cut the back. And I was hoping that I'd get a big enough lip at the bottom here to make put your bird food, like put a bowl down here. But that doesn't seem to be the case on this. So when I realized that, then I cut up some old Western red cedar at my tent with my chainsaws. Now, you don't have to have chainsaws to be able to make one of these. I like on the beach combing video I just released. I think you can find a natural piece of driftwood that has a branch coming off, then you can make where that branch would be the bowl. But this one, we're not going to carve this today. I do want to carve this because it would be a lot quicker. This is a lot of carving. And yeah, let's get to it. I think I'm going to do a Greenman on this one. Yeah, lots of carving. And one thing I got to say in this video, when I'm carving this, I want to do a cement mold out of this, like a rubber latex mold, whatever, and mold it into concrete or cement. So I got to remember that I can't do any undercuts in this, and it's got to be a pretty smooth, clean piece when I'm done, finished carving it. So here's your bowl for the bird food, and Greenman probably right here. Now you see how I cut this like that. This is your easiest point to carve a face. That's how you can get your nose to stick furthest off the face. If this was like a fence post, and you just rip it in half, you get that corner. Easiest thing to carve a face is with that point, that high point right there. Anyways, let's get on with it. Hi, everybody. Okay, so here's my piece. So let's aim to push carve a Greenman right here. Here's the top, here's the bottom. Now, anybody can carve a Greenman if you follow these steps. The Greenman, I don't really think you necessarily have to push the forehead back. The nose does not have to stick furthest off the face on any piece that you do. Now, this is my first time filming with this table, so I got to make sure you guys can see everything. Let me see if I can give you the wider view. That's better. Then I can zoom in possibly. So you got this would be your center. This top of the pyramid, let's call it, top of the triangle will be your center line. Now, I got a little bit of a sinus infection again, so I probably won't be able to carve with this will have to be a voiceover when I'm doing the carving. Now, because when I routed this plate, this is an aluminum plate. Like I said, you don't have to have an aluminum plate. You've got particle board. When I had to router around the wood here, so I could have give this plate a place to land, and I routed all in here. And well, I didn't have my dust mask on, and like I said, it's particle board, so it was stupid not to wear. It's stupid not to wear your dust mask when you're carving, because this particle board is glue, and who knows what type of wood it is. So it's my own mistake. So where do you want to put your face here for the good old Greenman? Greenman is, you could do different types of Greenman, like different types of leaves. You could do oak leaves, any type of leaves you want. You could put like little, what are those, nuts in there. You could even, for a Greenman, you could even put grapes in there too, whatever you want to do. Just use your imagination, but I'm just going to leave this one somewhat simple with leaves. So where do we want to put our eyes? Put our eyes across here. Now this piece is a little bit big to be Dremel carving for a video, but we'll get her done. So there's our eyes. Now your nose. Let's give this this fellow a big jolly nose. Kind of think of my last cement pour that I did. It's got a nice big happy nose, like wide this way. Now, since you don't have to carve your forehead in deeper, well, you can carve it deeper. The leaves, you can make the leaves come off any which, like this whole head's going to be leaves. You can make the leaves come off any which way you want. You can make one big leaf in the middle. You can have, I kind of have my formula the way I do it, but it's good to mix it up and try new different styles and types of ways, right? And learn new techniques and stuff like that. But I think when you're, because I've taken the time to cut this up with the chainsaw, this is a good dry piece of cedar. I think I want to play it safe and do my normal routine on this. But if you're doing something like this on a piece of driftwood, like, try new things, man. You got this piece of wood for free, so give her hell or give her shit or whatever you want to say. Pardon my language. So your mustache will be coming down here. Can you guys see this on this? Is this pen better? Your mustache will be coming down here. But we're not going to cut our mustache in yet. All we're going to do right now is we're going to cut here, maybe smooth this point off, and carve around the nose. All right? We're going to cut in the eyebrows here. Remove some wood below the eyebrows. Remove some wood around the nose. Remove some wood down here. I'm going to do a deep cut probably from here to all the way around here to get the nose to pop off. So all around here is going to be deeper than here. And then you can slowly work this down, and this is a lot of leaves to carve on this piece. And normally for the leaves, I like to say I suggest doing undercuts, but I can't do any undercuts on this because it's a mold, and if you do undercuts, you don't want the latex or the friggin' silicone to get in the undercuts, because when you pull the rubber off the piece, it's going to get stuck underneath those undercuts. So everything's got to be nice and smooth for the rubber to be able to pull off. But anyways, can you guys see that? There's our start. So I'm going to put on my dust mask, put on some music carve around here, and we'll do a voiceover on this. All right, so here's the first voiceover on the new table. That's a Kutzall Extreme Flame Burr. If anybody wants to get the Kutzalls, just go down below where it says more, and it will take you to the Kutzall site. And I think it will save you 10%, 5 or 10%. So, excuse me. I'm just turning my Dremel up here. I noticed when I'm editing this video, everything's a little bit dark, so I'm sorry about that. Just got to get used to it. There I am cutting across the eyebrow, the eyebrow lines. Just cutting that square edge off, pointy edge. Probably should have zoomed in for this. Maybe I can after. I don't think I sped this up too much. These wood spirits, they're good to do. They're good for beginners, and anybody can do them. And I'm still doing them, and I've been carving for 8 years now or something. So there you can see that I removed the wood below the eyebrow lines. I don't know what I was doing there. Now I'm going to be cutting around the nose here. And I'm not the best at doing these voiceovers. Don't be afraid to carve deeper as a very beginner. So there you can see I'm cutting around the nose. And I'm going to cut deep right here. Basically cutting it flat so it's like flat on both sides. Remove the wood below the nose and on the sides of the nose. Just basically match it up to where you got the eyebrows carved in there. And they're gonna let me keep this voiceover going. So still removing below the nose. The more wood that you remove here now, the better for later. Because if you carve your mustache, if you don't take that much wood off right now below the nose, and you carve your mustache in, you gotta carve a lot more wood with inside the mustache, and you gotta carve the mustache down a lot lower too. So it's just best to I know it's not fun to do. Best to do it now. Now, this is by Fordham. It's a 1/4 inch Kutzall Extreme Flame Burr. And some people have asked me if I've ever hit my pinky. Well, I can't bend my pinky. It was broken. And I had surgery on it, but it just never healed properly because I never went to physio, whatever it was called. And I can't bend it, but I don't think I've ever hit it. So there you can see I'm just removing lots of wood. Like I said, the more wood you remove now, the less you have to remove later. And you got to think, wood carving is removing, it's not adding. Yeah, I sped this up a little bit, not too much. Now I think I'm going to draw my mustache on. So you can see how the depth I got from the nose there. So quick when you do it on the angle. You can draw your mustaches on any which way you want. You can carve them on any which way you want. This one I kind of want it to look happy. So when I want it to look happy, I kind of go with that type of mustache. Drawing on the leaves. So this is how I do it. There's the top leaf above the nose and leaves above the eyebrows. Then you just branch the leaves out. And you carve the leaves in just like dragon scales or fish scales. And so your mustache, I'm just drawing the leaves on there. So they're overhanging each other. Now, carving deep here, all the way down alongside of the mustache. And then I'll be removing the wood on alongside that mustache too. So now, well, we're just going to do all our cuts first, I guess. This is why I'm not good at doing voiceovers, because I don't really remember what I was doing. And I only did this carving a few hours ago. And I already forget the steps that I took. But I am cutting on the outside of the mustache. It's good to do your cuts first, so the cuts are in there, and you won't forget them, or they won't get, like your pen won't get rubbed off or anything like that. Now, this is what I was talking about, removing all that wood earlier. Now I don't have to remove it now. Lots of it now. I'd have to remove a lot more than I am now if I didn't remove all that other wood before this. This is what you do to get the mustache elevated. And this is for the very beginner Dremel carver. I don't care. Every video I make is for the very beginner. I've been carving for 8 years or 9 years now. I'm still a beginner. So you can see the mustache is elevated now. Right? Oops, I still got to do that one side. Am I going to do it? Yeah. Remove the wood around it. Now, the mustache does not need to be sticking that far off the face, unless you want it to. If you want it to stick far off the face, carve beside and inside the mustache deeper. Now I'm going to cut the leaves in. Oh, that little plastic thing always... sooner or later, I just let that plastic thing fly off and forget about it. Forget about it. There I am cutting deeper on the bottom side of the nose to get it to stick out more. Cutting deeper in between the mustache, feathering it out. Cutting deeper beside the mustache. Just look at your piece, and I kind of just rounding the nose a bit. I suggest don't focus on one point don't focus on the left side of the nose all the time. If you're working on that, jump around, because when I'm carving right here underneath the nose, I'm looking at somewhere else where I need to adjust. So that's why it's hard to make the YouTube videos carving. Here I am cutting in the bottom lip, because when I'm carving one area, I'm looking at another area and thinking about what I need to do to adjust it and make it the same as the other side. Doing the wood spirits or the faces, you want to make the eyebrows the same height, like not crooked, and the nose, you want to draw that on pretty good too. I have my formula, the way I draw the nose, kind of, so it's like a triangle kind of on the bottom. and it just seems to work for me. There I am still just cleaning everything up before I start carving in the leaves down the mustache. Just moving around, cutting up the side, the bottom of the nose, so it's not such a big hang. Lots of my noses are big hangers, so here I am cutting the top leaf in. Now the leaves above the eyebrows. Cut a little bit deeper. Like the biggest thing about wood carving with the Dremels for the very beginners is learning how to not be afraid to carve deeper. And when I mean carve deeper, I mean like dig in there, man. Like don't break your flex shaft, or don't be too hard on the tool like I am, but let the bit do the work. And just if you don't like the way something looks, we'll just carve it deeper and carve it till you are happy. And you got to realize too, it's your time, and you should be having a good time doing it. I know it's frustrating when you're just getting started. It gets frustrating because the Dremel, any tool when you're first using the tool, it takes a while to get used to. And then once you get comfortable with that Dremel flex shaft in your hand, you're gonna be a lot faster, and you're gonna enjoy it a lot more. I used to have problems with like the burr always bouncing out of the wood and screwing things up. So here you can see I quickly blocked it out. This piece of cedar is pretty soft, for sure it is. But carve any type of wood you can get, I guess you could say. Good carving wood is cedar. This is Western red cedar. It's not Eastern red cedar. Eastern red cedar is also known as juniper, and Eastern red cedar, any Eastern red cedar that I've carved is a lot harder than this Western red cedar. Basswood, pine wood, any free wood when you're first starting to practice on, I think is the best. That's my opinion. Free wood's the best wood. So we got the leaves carved in the front top there. Now I was rushing this. And I don't want to rush this piece because, well, it's going to be, if it turns out okay, I don't have to mold this piece. Anyways, let's get the camera back in the overhead. And so for example, for the very beginners, don't be afraid to carve off your lines that you got, your drawings that you got drawn on here. You got to just redraw them on and recarve them. So let's get the leaves in, hit the mustache, the leaves down here. Get the leaves coming off the face, the forehead. And then what are we going to do down here? So you can see how the nose is established. Now your leaves, we'll put a leaf coming down here. And just, their leaves are just like fish scales or dragon scales or whatever. So your leaves come down. A leaf here. Then try to give them some movement. See how I just kind of bent this tip? Because if your leaves don't have some movement in them, they just kind of look, what would be the proper word? They just look kind of boring and stagnant. I don't know if stagnant would be the proper word, but they just don't look natural. Now, the side of your face here, normally for the wood spirit, let's give you the wider view here. Stand by. Normally for your face, you would do a straight cut down here and then carve in your cheekbones. But for this, we're just going to bring a leaf down here, a leaf over here. And then so since we got this drawn on, let's draw it on this side too. So they're kind of the same. It's a Greenman. The leaves don't have to be the same. And then we'll bring one down from here too. So then these leaves will drop down here. And so on. And then these leaves will drop down here. Now you see I'm running out of room on the edge here. It's okay, just make it look like leaves are, like that's a leaf there that's just coming off the piece. You don't even see it. Now this one, let's start off with a big leaf in here, and then we'll just branch some off down here. Now this is a lot more carving than a normal wood spirit, but it is what it is, and as long as you're having a good time, who cares? It's a lot more work. And this one kind of coming down here and then slowly dropping down. I know it's a lot to all these lines. It's a lot to process, but the more that you do, the better you'll get. And guarantee me, when I say everybody can do this, everybody can do this, because the simple fact is I'm doing it. Now I kind of want to slow down my carving doing these leaves, well, because I want them to be nice for the mold, because if it's not nice, well, I'm not going to mold it. Simple as that. Cut at the end, and those ones just off the end, just like that. All right, so we got these all drawn in. I think I'm going to, I could switch to another burr, like the taper burr, but I think probably right now I'm just going to blast them in with the normal extreme burr. And then, because you want your leaves to have sharp edges, so this is the normal extreme flame burr. I think I'm going to blast them in with this. Then I'll come along with one of my taper burrs, maybe this one, the silver taper burr, and then kind of square up the edges and maybe get a little bit of an undercut under there. Yeah, so I'll get these leaves. Well, let's just go live here for a second. I won't put my dust mask on. This table's pretty good. Do a couple of these leaves live. So I'm just going to go on the outside of this line. Oops, wrong pedal. See that leaf cut in there now? Now feather this leaf away. And repeat. So there's our start, right? Now, we're not building friggin' spaceships on this channel here, so just, if you don't try it, you're never going to do it. So just do it and try it. So here's what we got so far. All down the sides. I kind of rushed it a little bit on this side. And this is a side. And see how I brought that leaf wrapping around there? And then we got our other side too. And all up the top. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run around and clean up all these leaves. That's the worst thing to do. It's like the most boringest part. I'm going to use my micromotor. This is my Ram Products micromotor. I'll just leave it at that for now. But yeah, so I'm going to use this. I got the gold Kutzall. It's like a cone taper burr. So this is the gold one. I'm going to run around, clean up all these leaves, give some dents in there, and just give them some more movements. The only thing I might not like about this piece is just kind of, well, it's just kind of square, you know, rectangle. It's okay. So for that, I guess we'll try and give it a little bit more movement when we carve down here. So anyways, I'm going to run around and clean all this up, and then I'll be back. So I got all my vein lines carved in there. They're just pre-carving vein lines. Now I think it's time to shape the nose and see if I can carve eyes in this piece. It's a pretty soft cedar. I also sanded it a bit too. Now you got to think again when I'm carving this, I'm carving it to do a mold, so everything's got to be kind of nice and smooth. Let's set up the camera in the overhead and shape this nose. I'll probably carve the eyes on my own without filming, but to shape the nose, you just kind of give it a... Actually, put the camera in the overhead. All right, so my noses are never perfect, and what I'm going to do with this nose is, well, here's the Kutzall. This is the gold flame burr. Sorry, everybody. It's been a long time since I made a Dremel video, and sometimes I struggle with my what I want to say. So, your nose. All I do is like that. Try and do the same on both sides. And then bring it down. Bring it down. Put a little line across there to make sure you do it the same on both sides. Excuse me. Let's fire up the dust collector table. And this is really soft cedar. It's almost a little bit too soft. But just take your time. Shape the nose. So I'm going to do this cut here. Right? Then I'm going to remove some wood up here to get the nostril sticking out farther. 3, 2, 1, ignite the fan. I'll turn my Dremel up. All right. Now, okay, they look pretty equal. Now remove some of this wood. Now other carvers carve right here a little bit deeper on both sides to drop the nostrils a bit. Well, like I said, today's not for practicing. Okay, so for the nostrils themselves, all I do is cut up and under. Now don't go too close to this edge of the wood or you have a blowout that you get a big huge nostril. It happens to me often and I just kind of carry on. So now I'm going to give it some shape. See the holes cut in there? So I don't exactly like this nose the best that I've done, but I think I'm going to give this guy the bumpy nose. So it's got like once had a broken nose or something. So all you do is cut across here. got that cut in there, and you just feather it out, round it out. Sometimes turn your piece upside down. So there's your bump. I can smooth it out better actually. Now the more time you put into this, the better it's going to look. You know, and another thing too, I talk about the more you carve, the better you're going to get. Now, I haven't carved a small wood spirit with my Dremel in a long time. So, is this my best? No, it's definitely not my best. It's not too bad so far. But the more that I sit at this table, everything here is new to me. The more I sit at this table, practice things, the better I'm going to get. And just like you guys, the more that you sit at your table, practice things, familiarize yourself with the Dremel, familiarize yourself with the different bits, the better that you are going to get. So anybody wanting to carve real eyes, I cannot give you a better, what would the word be? A better advice, I don't think. If you're carving real eyes and you're struggling with the real eyes, make them look left, right. That's the easiest eyes to do. And man, I'm telling you right now, I was struggling with these eyes. It's because this wood's so soft, and then the grain messes with you. So make them look left or make them look right. This guy looks cute. So since I was struggling with those eyes so much, I went outside and made a coffee and had a little break. I think I'm going to blast in a wood spirit in this. Well, because this is the piece that I found on the beach, and I think I need to carve a wood spirit in here. Hi, Liz. Super time lapse. So this piece of wood is the most softest rotten wood that aka punky wood that I've ever carved. The outside shell is hard, but as soon as you get into here, it's just like, it's mush. But I finished it to show you all. It's a wood spirit, isn't it? As long as you can see that nose and the eyebrows, it's a wood spirit. So don't think when you're, for the very beginning Dremel carvers, don't think when you're carving wood spirits, you're going to carve a real wizard's face. Well, maybe you can. I don't know. I can't. This is, in my definition, in my opinion, this is a wood spirit. Anyways, on to the other piece. So I do got to say, it's getting to be the end of the day for old heavy hands because, well, it's summertime right now, and this room is like a sauna because the sun's beating on it right now. But here's the thing, the Greenman. Now we got this bottom piece to deal with. So my plan was to carve a couple wood spirits here too. And that's what I'm going to do. It's my art. It's my piece. I'll carve kind of what I want and how I want. So this will be a forehead for one of them. Get your center line here. Your eyes. Well, we're going to have to bring the forehead up a little bit. And our eyes up a little bit. Then your nose. Because, well, you see the drop off right here. Right here. You don't want your nose to come down there because then you got to carve super deep in here. So just end your nose right there. And then boom. Boom. Now, and where's same on the other side? Up here. Sorry if this is not the best filming. It's going to take me a while to get used to this new thing that I got here. And then the nose. And these spirits don't have to be, see how they're kind of slanted this way? They don't have to be straight up and down. Now, just curious about, yeah, I guess I can blend them in together like that. Blending wood spirits, this kind of, and doing a bunch of things is kind of what I like to do. You guys, the more that you do, you'll find your own style of things you like to do. I don't know, maybe you want to start carving, I don't know, goats. Maybe you want to start carving whatever you want, pigs, cows, mermaids, whatever you want to carve. Carve it. As long as you're having fun, nothing should really matter, should it? Isn't that the bottom line? So that, I gotta say, is enough carving for me for one day. It sure is. Now, I'll finish this all in one video. What was I going to say? I got the whole piece carved. Lots of cleaning up I got to do. Lots of cleaning up I got to do. Got to give these wood spirits some details. But I think it's coming together. Kind of, sort of. All right. And I'll be back at it tomorrow morning. So it's now the next day, and I just want to say something to the very beginning wood carvers or artists or whatever. Things change. I stayed up later last night and did the burning, the carving of the leaves, veins, and some details on the wood spirits. Now, how I did that, you know, you could get a wood burning pen, but I got my RAM micromotor here, and I got a dull diamond bit. Now, I don't run this full blast. This runs 50,000. This is a brushless one. This is an expensive one. But I don't run this full blast, but I run it pretty quick. Then I get a dull diamond burr, and it does the carving and the burning at the same time. So one thing that will never change with the Carving Fusion thing, there will always be the Just Carve Rob Shop piece of bitten toast. And there will always be Geordie Lee and the pumpkin that just carved, holding a coffee that Just Carve Rob carved me, and an old wood spirit I did with some epoxy in it. That will always be here. That will never change. Hey, Just Carve Rob, there it is, the famous piece of Just Carve Rob Shop toast. Anyways, change. I have decided I don't want to do a. I do want to do it, but I can't do it right now. It'll be a long time before I do it. Is a mold of this piece, because while I got to get back to work, I just don't have the time, and I still have unpacking to do for my moving and stuff like that. So I just don't have the time to make it a mold. And you know, I think to do a mold, I can do something better. One thing I like it. It's not that I don't like it, but if this piece is just kind of straight up and down the side, so it's too straight up and down the sides. Anyways, this is going to be a succulent plant holder. I carved out some more inside there. I signed it in the back. I got a drain hole in the back. So change, another thing, what's going to change on this? Well, what you looky here. Hooker's green, my favorite color in the world. I'm going to paint these leaves green, and I'm probably going to do red tips on them. I'm not too sure. But this whole thing's going to be green, and we'll talk about how we're going to make it not so green. What do you think? This is a pretty good paint I bought from the paint store. This stuff's thick, so I'm going to put it on this plate, clear plate, and water it down. We have our coffee. We have our watered down paint. Not too watered down though. And we have our carving. So I guess all you do is start painting. This is something that you would kind of do at nighttime. You can put on some music. It's not going to be too loud. Have a good time, relax. Drink some beers. Drink some coffees, drink some pop. Do whatever you do. Have a good time. So I'm going to paint this whole piece. I don't think you guys, I'm even going to paint in the eyes green. We can do some dry brushing later. I don't think you guys are going to want to hang. I am definitely going to need to mix up some more paint too. I don't think you guys are going to want to hang out for this part. So how about I get this paint all painted, the leaves, and then we'll talk about, like I said, I think about doing the tips red. And once again, yeah, I'm probably going to keep this piece and put it in my yard. Anyways, lots of painting to do here. Carry on, carry on. So I got it all painted. I did hit some other stops. Oh, what are you asking why I got all this paint on my hand for? Well, Carving Fusion strikes again. Luckily, I put down this white board here, this foam board, because I said, well, I'm going to try and keep this table as clean as I possibly can. But when I was painting, the whole thing tipped over and it just made a friggin' mess. So anyways, there's some, it's always going to be messy here at Carving Fusion. And then I decided, well, I might as well paint that one too. See if we can make it look better. Now we'll get the heat gun and dry this up. So I did some dry brushing on the rotten piece of wood. And look how much it's come to life already. And this is just to show you guys, you know, don't ever quit and just have fun and carry on. Now I think, since that looks okay in my opinion, I think I'm going to do some yellow dry brushing on this one. Just with this dollar store bright yellow paint. It's not that bright, but anyways, let's do some dry brushing. All right, so the dry brushing is the objective, if you haven't ever done it, is to get paint on your brush, but wipe it off and don't have much paint on your brush and just kind of make it. And again, that's a little bit too much. Like, the least paint on your brush is better. Don't forget to get on the sides too. That was a little bit too much paint on there. And when I'm doing this, I think I'm going to pull out the red after and maybe do some details, some red highlights on this piece. I'm going to try on the bad piece of wood first. I'll just keep on dry brushing it on. Getting those eyes pretty good. You want it to look smooth. And everything is always, in my opinion, Probably will highlight the eyes a little bit more. See how that dry brush is going on the nose there? Barely any paint. See how it's bringing it to life? Nice screenshot right there. Okay, let's carry on. So I did the red on this one, then I did some white, and I don't really like the way that is. So I'll probably go over it with the give it a yellow dry brush again. But here's this one done. Better lighting today. I figured it out a bit better. So I'm just going to leave that the way it is. Let's give you a full. All right, got the top there. This would actually be a pretty cool cement mold. I always could do it, but I did hollow out inside here a lot more. So I don't know. I think a succulent plant holder is probably better. Now I'm going to take it outside and give it some clear coat with the Rust-Oleum. This Carve, Rob, you got a little camping fan like this? Probably not. Anyways, I'm ready for some road base for my paving project. So that's going to be it for this one, everybody. I gave this rotten fellow another yellow wash. I'll put a clear coat on it when it dries. It's still wet. Signed it in a hole in the back. This one here, it was a fun project. I wish the wood spirits were kind of looking left and more right, but that's all right. It was satin, so you kind of got a gloss on it. It will look a lot better when it's hanging outside on my wall when I put some succulents in there. I'm going to spray that rubber stuff in there first. But I hope some people have learned some things from this video. And here's that piece of cottonwood bark that I found on the beach. If you saw the first video, maybe I'll carve a couple wood spirits or a wood spirit and an owl on one side and do a mold out of this. And just carve Rob. Don't you worry, my friend. Don't you worry. The flying spirit pig with "I am Jordy the Worm" on it is going to be going up right here. Once I get some time, it's going to be going up. This long live the spirit pig, flying spirit pig with the little Jordy worm that just Rob carved for me. Anyways, there's one more thing that I carved too. Before I carved this guy, I carved this. This was the first one that I chainsaw carved, and it cut out, and then I didn't like it, and I went back to my tent and then cut it more of an angle on the bottom. So then I carved this one the same day as I cut it. And I carved it super fast. And I carved a little owl there really fast and painted it and just carved the flower and painted it and then sanded it, scuffed it up. And this can be a bird feeder for sure. Hope everybody's doing good. And happy Sunday. You will be watching this video. Well, if you watch it when it comes out, you'll be watching this video when I am working. Carve Infusion, over and out, and don't shit your pants! Oh, one more thing for all you haters out there. This table won't be clean for very long. What are you doing, Lee? What are you doing there? What am I going to carve in this?